Did you know that you can use your shorts content on YouTube to actually come up with topics for your long form content? In fact, your shorts content is a really good tester for the content you're potentially going to create for your audience because your shorts content goes out inside of the feed. So as people are scrolling, they're able to stop and engage. These are people who are not already following you in a lot of cases. These are people who don't really know you. And you're going to see your numbers vary depending on what you're posting, when you're posting, and how it's hitting inside of the algorithm system. Now, just because a short performs poorly does not mean it won't perform really well as a long form piece of content. But we do know that something that's going to perform well in shorts usually also performs well in long form content. So go into your analytics on your YouTube channel and just click over to your Shorts tab. From your Shorts tab, you are going to click onto Views instead of Date, and that is going to show you your highest performing short form content. Now, with short form content, we know a lot, but not all, but most of Shorts content is going to have a shorter lifespan. It's going to hit the algorithm, and then it is going to live in a cycle, and then it's going to disappear. Now, people still have the ability to search for these things, and if you have one that's performing well in search, that is definitely something that should be a long form piece of content so that you're getting the monetization rate that is much better for the long form than the short form content. But if you are seeing things that did really well in that short cycle on the shorts algorithm, you are going to want to also try to create a longer form piece of content out of that. So any tips that you gave away, you can create a longer form piece of content where you really drill down on the conversation. You really deepen the knowledge or conversation around what you were talking about in that piece of short content. Shorts are going to be a really good gauge of what gets people's attention, what gets people's engagement. If you're getting comments, if you're getting likes, if you're getting shares, all of those are good indicators that this should probably be a longer form piece of content. And we know with long form pieces of content on YouTube, we're getting higher monetization, we're getting more qualified watch time. We are going to then be able to build up what we're doing through our long form content. So using shorts kind of as a tester, just to throw as much as you can out that is relevant to your audience and relevant to the conversation to gauge that interest, to see what you can then use to build upon. That saves you a lot of time and effort. So if you're already creating content for TikTok and for Instagram and for the other platforms, and you're also putting it on shorts, you can then go and look at that analytical information and determine whether or not this could be built out into a longer form piece of content. So when I'm not sure what my next video should be, when I'm not sure what's going to be the next part of the conversation we should be having, I am actively going to look at my shorts to see what people responded to. I'm checking the comments to see how they're engaging. And then I'm using that to build a longer form piece of content. And sometimes it's literally just giving the same 3 points that I gave in the short piece of content, but talking more about them, going deeper with the conversation. Or sometimes it is taking that 1 point and building it out to be a couple of points. But the longer the conversation I can have where I give valuable information that is not fluff is really going to work to my benefit. And now I don't have to think of more topics to give, more topics to talk about because I've already created this content. I know that it works well with an audience and I have the ability to then grow what it is doing on my channel and have it live in multiple formats. So somebody who wants that 30-second view can get that. And someone who wants the deeper, in-depth 3-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute video can get that as well. Shorts content is a really good indicator of what you can be doing in your long form content. And the inverse is also true. If you have a really good piece of long form content, you could also potentially do a short form version of this for your other social medias. I will say this much. If you have a long form piece of content that's doing well, don't create a short version that includes absolutely everything because that will overtake your long form piece of content. And instead of making hundreds of dollars, you'll make a couple of pennies on it. So be wise about how you do that and use any short content that comes from the long form content to lead back to the long form piece of content. So give a little nugget of wisdom from that and direct them to the deeper, in-depth long form piece of content that you created on that's already doing well on your channel. Follow along for more ideas on how you can create content for your social platforms to save you time and effort and stress so that you can make this your most profitable year ever without a ton of overwhelm and without a ton of commitment on that time frame for the content you're creating. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.